The Land of Oz, a magical realm where scarecrows talk, tin men yearn for hearts, and emerald cities gleam in fantastical landscapes. While L. Frank Baum's The Wonderful Wizard of Oz brought these tales to life in words, it was the vivid imagination of artist William Wallace Denslow that gave them their enduring, iconic form. But Denslow's own story rivals the whimsy and eccentricity of the world he helped to create. Born in Philadelphia in 1856, Denslow, a self-taught artist with an indomitable spirit, spent his early years wandering from town to town, sketching lithographs and designing theater posters. By the late 19th century, he had earned a reputation as a versatile and imaginative illustrator, punctuating his work with a distinctive seahorse signature. In 1899, Denslow teamed up with L. Frank Baum to illustrate Father Goose, his book, a children's classic that became the year's bestseller. The success of this collaboration laid the foundation for their next endeavor, the lavishly illustrated The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, published in 1900. Denslow's illustrations didn't merely accompany the text, they completed it. He brought the story's characters and landscapes to life, crafting definitive depictions of Dorothy, Toto, the Tin Woodsman, and others. Reviewers at the time praised his artwork as being as integral to the story as Baum's words. The book was an instant phenomenon, selling tens of thousands of copies and cementing Oz as a cultural juggernaut. Baum and Denslow shared the copyright, which extended to stage adaptations. But the success of the 1902 Broadway production of The Wizard of Oz marked the beginning of the end of their partnership. Disagreements over royalties led to a bitter split, with Baum turning to a new illustrator for the rest of the Oz series. Denslow, ever the showman, took his share of the profits and did something straight out of a fairy tale. He bought Bluck's Island in Bermuda, built a castle-like home, and declared himself King Denslow I. Denslow's self-imposed exile to Bermuda was more than a change of scenery. It was a statement. From his turreted studio, he continued creating art, even crafting a comic strip featuring the Tin Woodsman and Scarecrow. He named his yacht The Wizard, and reveled in drawing parallels between himself and the titular character of his most famous work, a man who reinvented himself in a faraway land. But Denslow's creative ventures in Bermuda, including a book and stage adaptation called The Pearl and the Pumpkin, failed to replicate the success of Oz. Critics noted its striking similarities to Baum's masterpiece, and the convoluted plot of the stage production doomed it to a short run. By 1908, financial troubles forced King Denslow to abdicate. He sold his island kingdom and returned to the United States, where his fortunes continued to decline. Years of heavy drinking and a string of failed endeavors left him struggling to make ends meet. In 1915, a brief moment of hope came when he sold a cover illustration to Life magazine, but the celebration proved to be his undoing. Denslow succumbed to pneumonia after a night of heavy drink. He was just 59 years old. Although his life ended in relative obscurity, Denslow's work remains immortal. His imaginative designs shaped the visual legacy of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz and influenced countless adaptations from the Broadway stage to MGM's 1939 cinematic classic. William Wallace Denslow may not have reached the heights of his fictional counterpart, but his contributions to The Land of Oz ensure his name will always be remembered alongside Baum's.
Out to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Here he is, a wizard of a wizard, ever a wizard there was.